Good morning, people. This week's walk's going to be the Ullswater Way, around 21 miles, and it's just basically circling the whole of Ullswater. So we were originally going to park in Patterdale, as it's easier for us to get to from where we live, but Kirkstone Pass is actually shut, and I only found out while I was driving here. So the route had suggested starting in Pooley Bridge. Went for a coffee into base services and found a lay-by, which is just off the road there for free. So you can see we're just parked behind that boathouse. We're going to be going up here behind Pooley Bridge to Aira Pike. You come down and you circle round past Alder Fell. You end up going into Glenridden and Patterdale, which is miles back there. See Elvel in the background, and then come back and finish here. It's quite a long route, but I'm not sure if it's classed as a challenge, but pretty much it is like. So you could have done it in about 20 miles, but we're doing the longest possible route. Tom's actually doing something in work for Alder Hey, which is in Liverpool, a kids hospital, and they're doing like a charity thing where they're going to see who can walk the furthest out of all the people in their work. So she wanted to get something long done today, so I said why not do this, and weather's looking good as well. It's been terrible the last few days all over the country, been torrential rain and gale force winds, but today it's calmed down and we've got the sun out by the looks of it all day. But yeah, it's gonna look like a great day for it, mate. So as you've just seen back there, there's actually £4 all day parking, but because it's so early, it's just gone 7 o'clock. It was blocked in by a car. The pay station it might be manned of a day. There was no one there, so a bit of a weird one, but you could actually park in Pooley Bridge for £4 or getting a lay-by. Depends what time you come. That's why I like to come early, because you always get good parking, and obviously we need to be here early because it's going to take around, I'd say, maybe 9-10 hours, I'm not too sure, depends on how many breaks we take. So the shorter Ullswater Way, pretty sure you turn off on this road and you stay next to the lake, but we're going into the hills there, and we're going to something called the Cockpit Stone Circle, which is in this area, and then onto Aira Pike and then down. It adds a slight bit of distance on, and obviously some elevation, and later on, after we go to Aira Force waterfall, we're then going on to Gowbarrow Fell. The shorter route actually avoids that and comes back down after Aira Force, but we're just going to add them on to add a bit of mileage on. A nice little car park here for free as well. Quite a few people already out. Didn't know about this one. You could actually start here for free if you wanted to, and just come back round later on. Loads of room as well. No, what's this turn? No parking. It just says no overnight, and then you're straight into the hills. You can see where we are down there, miles away. The little boathouse is. Doesn't really matter. If you're happy to pay, I'll just park in Pooley Bridge. Like a bus stop. Here's the stone circle, the cockpit. Yeah, it literally is a stone circle. Oh well, something checked off I've never seen in the lakes. All over this area a good few times. and we're heading up there to Aira Pike. Mate, what a day for it. Should have seen the weather by hours yesterday, and even down here 70-mile-an-hour wind yesterday. Embers did say that it was actually going to calm down in the afternoon. Still a bit windy, but mate, the change from yesterday is ridiculous. And how good's that view, man? That is unbelievable, that view of Ullswater. Couldn't have picked a better time. Belter. So according to the GPS, it's saying I've got around 20 miles still to go. You can just see the sign for Ullswater Way down that side, but this is the more extended route up to Aira Pike. But it's been good so far. See the distance we've come. You can see the house by the road miles in the distance. We've come here to the hills. So I've just made a slight detour off the path to go up to Aira Pike summit. Just on the rocks there. Been up here a few times in the past, love it up here, man. Views are stunning as well at the lake. Wind still hasn't calmed down, like it's a bit chilly. Got a bit of a bite to it. Aira Pike, 533 metres. For them views. Woo! We're going to be circling around the side, but we're going to head on straight onto that way now. Stunning up here, oh man. So back on the route, you can just see where the two people are on Aira Pike on the summit. Little detour off, and we're back on the normal route. See here, Bonscale Towers. Maybe we've come a long way from over there. Unbelievable. Nice. Here's Alder Fell. You can see how big the summit cairn is. Well, I can anyway. It's massive. You can see how bad this wind's picked up here while you're exposed. Gotta just head down. I'm not even going over today because I've been before. But yeah, we need to crack on this way. Tell you mate, that's bad wind now if you're not careful. It's mad because the minute you're not exposed it's so calm, but it's a good view anyway. This is Bonscale Pike summit, 524 metres, two-way nights on the way round anyway. And again, them views, tell you what, I'd love to hard camp this on a good day, like unreal. Ridiculous views them are. Like listen to that, I'm literally 2 foot off the summit, no wind, howling up there mate. So we are actually heading down now. Just checked the route and we're going straight down. We're a couple of hours in now, so doing alright for time to be fair. Got a lot of mileage left now. So you see where we're heading down here towards the house. I remember the last time we done this a few years ago, Dom literally fell on her arse about 5 or 6 times because it's so steep. Could have done with some walking poles with us now, but we haven't got any. Just got to be careful coming off here. And then you can see there's Aira Fell, so we're going to be heading around it and whipping back. But yeah, got to navigate this section first and not fall over, but we'll be fine. descent on your knees is not fun, man. My knees are rattling. Only got another 17 mile as well, it's saying. At least it's flat. It's flat for about 12 miles now before we head up to Aira Force. Oh mate, you know what though, it is what it is. Look at the views though. So Alder Fell, man, I love that. That's one of the best in the lakes. It's just how prominent that cairn is. You can see how big. I know you probably can't see it on camera, but it's massive, man. But yeah, we're nearly at the floor here, and then we're heading round next to the lake for a while. Probably just grab a quick sandwich while I'm walking. Starting to feel a bit peckish now, and crack on. So you can see how much we've just descended. Back on flat. Tell you what, I'm glad to get back on the flat there. My legs are shaking. Not the best descent in the world, that. But we're just gonna have a sandwich now and just walk with it towards Alder Fell now. But we need to carry on down here and shoot over there. Nice, a little gaff this, isn't it? Yeah. Nice. Been in this area before when we've done a bit of cliff jumping around the other side. It's on some of my older videos, but I've never actually carried on past the cliff, so it'll be interesting to see what's there. I think it's a bit of a forest. Unbelievable views, man. There's that the Ullswater steamer. Good salmon. There's the little cliff we were jumping off. Well, it's not exactly a cliff like, but it's quite high when you're jumping off it. That was good, that. It was a good few years ago. We've been here a few times to do that. And we normally just chill out around here on the little rock beach. But yeah, I've actually never been past this point, so I've went round in a boat on a dinghy, but that's about it. So it'll be quite interesting to see where this leads to. Size of that tree that fell over. Wow. Okay, that was a big bang, mate. There's Alder Fell in the background. We're just coming across some farmers' fields. The terrain's nice. In that forest underneath Alder Fell. It's quite muddy actually. Just had to walk quite slow. Loads of people fell running through it as well. Hoping it's just nice for a bit before we get into like Patterdale and that. Shame we've got around 15 miles still to go and we're over 3 hours in. Mate, imagine living there, got a stream outside your house, got a view up to Place Fell and Helen over there. Unreal, man. Quite steady going this area. There's quite a lot of fell runners around here. Things like a group just keep running past us. Bit of fatigue, but not the end of the world. This area's sound. It's a bit muddy, but it's not as bad as the forest before. And you can see over there where we're heading, not far off Glenridden. Starting to fatigue a bit, so we feel a bit tired. So it's a bit of a mental block, been walking quite slow. Yeah, once you get into single figures, we'll crack on again, start hammering a bit. So we're not far off Place Fell, or below it. Just been saying then, mate, we've definitely underestimated this. It's quite up and down in places, even though it's very minimal. We done Derbyshire 3 Peaks in January, and it was pretty much the same length as this, just walking through bogs and that, but mate, we kept our foot to the ground all day. Could have been because it was cold. This is not like a proper walk in the park, not hard, but it's not easy either. So you can just see the corner of the lake here, the end of it. There's the Ullswater steamers over there. Look at there, people going up to Place Fell. So we're finally at the end of the lake. Pretty much. We're going to be turning here somewhere through the farmer's fields over to Patterdale. Been nice this side. Don't know what it'll be like over the other side, but been some good sights on this one. So we finally got to the turning point. There's the Patterdale Hotel. Loads of people must be here. Car park rammed. A few people about. And we're heading back in that direction. Just arrived in Patterdale. Bay some views on Helvellyn today, mate. There'll be loads of people going up there. Car park's full, but we've got some flat walking for a while before we start heading up to Aira Force in Gowbarrow. Look at it though, man, unbelievable day. So this side of the lake feels like you're covering a lot more distance quicker. Pats are a lot more like, as you can see, normal pats. And all muddy and boggy and stuff, but we're moving quite quick. We took a little break before. Well, Dom went to the toilet in Glenridden and I just waited for 5 minutes. And I feel a lot better, but yeah, just added a load of food then. And we're making up good, some good mileage, but as you can see, still got a long way to go, like. So just looking at the route there, we're going to start heading up towards Aira Force and then Gowbarrow. You can see how far we've actually come around the lake. Flying on this side, and we've actually made up quite a bit of time. We've shaved about 40 minutes off the original time. So the route's actually just tried to take us through the fields there behind us, up towards Aira Force, and missed it, went back, and it was nasty, man. It was just all like cow pat, and you couldn't see the pat, so we're just following the normal one everyone follows, and then we'll cut back up to Aira Force in a bit, use our own pat in a sense, because that just weren't good, but it doesn't matter, it's all comes out in the same place, and then head up to Gowbarrow, as I say. Good stuff, lad. So glad there to get off Aira Force. Loads of people just walking dead slow. Obviously, not their fault I'm trying to pass them, like, but oh, it was just like, I just wanted to get through it as quick as. But we're off it now and we're heading up to Gowbarrow, which is up here. You can see there's quite a few people come off Aira Force to walk up. And then it's home free basically, back to the car. I'm actually feeling good now. I think when it's like a psychological thing, once you know you're not massively far off the end, you're sure to get a second wind, so sound. But it is quite hot. Boiling. Well, not quite hot, it's boiling, yeah. So literally our last bit of ascent. Just gotta get up over here. Feeling it now, like. And again, it's boiling. See Gowbarrow Fell there, last one. Last bit of ascent. That's where we've just come off, Gowbarrow. 481 metres. But we're in the space of here and being on the summit. Both my knees have gone, so I'm walking with a bit of a limp. We've got 5.5 miles left in about 2 hours and something. Just hoping the path's a bit nicer later on, because it's not great now when your knees are hurting. We're already about 17 miles deep as well. We'll see how we feel. You don't actually have to do Gowbarrow if you don't want to on the shorter route. You can just come off at Aira Force, but we've committed it now, so not far to go anyway. So you can just see in the distance Alder Fell we're on line with. So you've got to go all the way down there. But on the map it's not very far, to be fair. Once you get on a bit of flat, the knee pain subsides a lot. It'll go away, it's fine. At the end of the world. So yeah, we're on the right track anyway. 4.5 miles left to Pooley Bridge, Ullswater Way. So there's loads of different ways of doing it. Aira Force yet, so that is the other way of doing it, just going to Aira Force, and then Gowbarrow's the way we've done it. That's the longer version. So it does go to show, but it looks like we're going to finish at about 22-23 miles, and I think the original route's about 20-ish, so you're adding a couple on, but you don't really need to go and summit them. We're just, you know, I'm that type of person. That's a bit of a shadow. I need to do everything. But yeah, it's, do you know what, it's been good though, can't complain. Just looking forward to getting back in the car now, or going for a pint actually first.
Town.
Tom was literally saying to me before, this walk's had a bit of everything. You've walked through like towns, forests, by it next to lakes, mud, good parts, bad parts, everything. Summited a few mountains, but it's one of them, man. It's decent. I'm hoping the path stays like this, just being muddy for a while. I'm not banking on it, like, but hopefully, fingers crossed. Some muddy terrain here, man. Was going good with them paths there, and then got on this field and it's just a mud path. We're 3 miles away now. We've actually really picked up pace, so it's actually a good thing. Envisioning that drink in the pub. Less than a couple of miles to the finish, and then we've realised there's actual charity things doing the Ullswater Way today, so there's people everywhere walking the same way as us. So we're just trying to pass everyone, but we're doing good for time, so I'm happy with that. Saying 10 hours we were going to finish in, but looks like it'll just be over 9 hours now, so I must have sped up. Well, we have. The last few miles we just started walking fast. There goes my shoes anyway. Oh my god. Absolutely lovely end to the walk. Jesus. That field was just a mud bath. I tried to avoid it and walk as far away from the mud as I could, and it just got worse. Right at the end as well. Come out in a little caravan park. There's the car there, just in between the trees, next to the jetty thing. We've just actually got to go back on the road here though, because you won't get over the fence. But yeah, I can see it there. And that's just putting us on 9 hours something. Belter.
9 hours and 19 seconds up to now.
Just over 9 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. The last challenge to get to the gate. Oh my god. Oh, there's barbed wire the fence as well. Oh yeah, we can get through, yeah. Oh man. Watch the barbed wire, Tom, don't grab it. Things I do for this YouTube. Nice, we're out. I'm out, man. Right people, the Ullswater Way, let's get into it. So all the routes I'd found had basically said that you want to park in Pooley Bridge. I was originally going to park in Patterdale, just as I know there's good parking spaces there. It's actually less miles to get to from where I live, and I prefer the drive if I'm honest. Although it's similar time to get to Pooley Bridge. But anyway, the Kirkstone Pass was actually shut. And he noticed this when I was halfway down the lakes. So I pulled into a lay-by and had a coffee, and I looked around Pooley Bridge to see if there was any free parking. While I was actually checking for any lay-bys, I did check the parking places, and because you're out most of the day, you're talking about $8.50 in the proper car parks. In my own opinion, it's a bit steep like, but if you're happy to pay it, it's fine. But anyway, I come across this place, the Duke of Portland Boathouse. And I'm led to believe this is actually an Airbnb now. As you can see, it's just off Pooley Bridge. There's a car park there on the thing, but zoom in. And you can see there's quite a bit of space for a few cars. These people have obviously been paddleboarding. So if you was to actually go up there in a group and do the Ullswater Way, you could save a fair whack by all parking there. You get 3 or 4 cars at least there. But when I actually got back in the night, there was no one actually parked near me. So people either don't know about it or they're happy to just pay the prices in Pooley Bridge. But there is quite a few car parks. There's one actually here, and there's a few, as you know here. There's one there, Dunmallard car park, and there's quite a few in the centre. And I think it was this one here I come across. That was only £4 for the day. But because we got there just before 7 o'clock, there was a car blocking the entrance, and there was a pay station that I'm assuming might be manned in the day to pay the £4, and you couldn't actually park there because the car was in the way. So maybe they put a man there to pay later on, so I couldn't have actually parked there anyway. If you're happy to pay the $8.50, there's plenty of car parks. You've got the £4 option, and then you've obviously got the lay-by, so plenty of parking there. Here's a quick look of the map on the Lake District's website about the Ullswater Way. So you can see on this map here, they've got Pooley Bridge down as parking, Patterdale, Glenridden, Glencoyne, I'm not even sure what that place is, and Aira Force. Obviously, you could start at either end of the lake. I'd probably suggest parking in Pooley Bridge as that. When I looked at the overall walk at the end, I think Pooley Bridge is the best to park in rather than Glenridden or Patterdale, but plenty of choices and plenty of ways to start the walk. So I did mention in the video, we'd actually done the more extended route, and I'll show you why. So you can either do the shorter route, which is this one here, which follows down the Ullswater Way, and it cuts out this part, the Cockpit Stone Circle, Alder Pike and Bonscale. The actual route doesn't summit these, but I summited them because I was walking past. Basically taking a fair whack of elevation off by avoiding that, and Gowbarrow. But it's irrelevant, you can do whatever route you want, you know what I mean? But I preferred that one. You can see this here. The yellow route is the Ullswater Way, Lowther Castle Loop. So that's pretty much irrelevant. And you've also got the Dalamain Loop. Proper Ullswater Way is just basically the purple route here. But yeah, you can avoid Arthur's Pike in a stone circle and save your legs a bit. And again, later on, you've got the part by Aira Force, where I went up to Gowbarrow. But again, you can avoid that and come down this route instead. What we actually noticed when we got to Glenridden, there was loads of groups doing the Ullswater Way charity, weirdly enough, on the same day. We didn't see any of these people when we were walking, and they were already in Glenridden, and they were all taking like breaks and having food and all stuff on the benches by the car park there. There was actually a group of lads walking behind us at one stage, and we noticed when we got to Aira Force, they cut off to the shorter route and the less elevated one. But as I say, there's plenty of options on it. If I'm not mistaken, the shorter route's around 21 miles. But anyway, I'll show you the route on Outdoor Active. So here's my recorded track. As I said, we parked outside the boathouse, and you can see here the Ullswater Way. So we went through Pooley Bridge, and again, look how many car parks you've got. So I didn't even realise the actual Ullswater Way, you can cut off through Pooley Bridge straight away. I actually mentioned in the video that I thought it was around here down the road, but it turns off it's actually in Pooley Bridge, and that is the shorter route, as I said. But as you can see, this is where we went up to the stone circle, and there's the cockpit, the stone circle. I actually read about this when I got home, and it says it's Bronze Age, and it's around 3,500 to 5,000 years old apparently, which is mad, because at the time I just went there and I was thinking, it's just a circle of stones. I'd not done my research because we planned this route the night before. If you actually read the history of stuff, it is fairly interesting. I was like, I was a bit mind blown, but yeah, some mad stuff around the lakes if you know where you're looking. So we carried on, and you don't have to do Arthur's Pike, but we wanted to summit it. We've been up there a few times, and you can see there 532 metres Arthur's Pike is. As I said before, you are adding elevation on, which you don't need to if you don't want to. And again, it's showing you different little routes here. The Ullswater Way, and there's this one. So you can take your pick really. And then we went up to Bonscale Pike as well, which is 524 metres. For instance, if you're weighing right back and you've never done them, it's worth grabbing them on the way past if you're going to do that way. This section is very steep, as I've mentioned in the video. I wish I'd have took a walking pole with me, because my knees, when I come down there, were hurting, to be fair. Although I knew this from previous experience being up there, but to be honest, it just never crossed my mind. You can see Alder Fell here. We actually discussed it, should we bag that on the way past? But I'm glad I never, because Alder Fell is it's only small, but it's steep, and we just wrote our legs off if we went that way. Nice little walk around Alder Fell before you get into this part, Hallen Hag Wood. And this part is very, very wet, very muddy as well. There was fell runners running past us through it, and they were just covered in mud. And it slows you down a bit, but it's only a short section. But the views around these areas, one of the best views in the Lake District in my opinion. Just a walk around the lake in general is just great, mate. This area is nice patch through Sandwich when you come off Arts Pike, or if you're going to come that way round to Patterdale. It is quite a fair whack of distance, that. And as you can see there, Place Fell, you're below Place Fell, so you're just circling around the side of that mountain. But as I say, that is a nice section, just good patch. And yeah, you come back through Patterdale. That's pretty much the halfway point, the other end of the lake, before you head into Glenridden. We took a quick break here at the toilets, so Dom had held it in till we went to there. We had a quick break there, and I just grabbed something to eat while she went to the toilet. There is places to go on the way through. There's also some in Aira Force if you want to go there. But anyway, you head through Glenridden. You basically walk down the road for a while before you come to these sections, and there's just a path off the road because the road's so narrow. You can't just walk down the road because there's cars flying towards you, so there's a path just off the road. This Glencoin, I didn't even know this was there, although I've drove past it loads of times. Nice little parking spot that actually. You're heading up basically towards Aira Force then, and Gowbarrow if you're going to do that route. So I mentioned this in the video, just a quick one. The route we were doing that said go up here on this path. I've missed it and then turned back to get back on it. you couldn't see the path, and it was like cow pat everywhere. So we were like, we'll stick to this side before getting up to Aira Force. And to be honest, I had it in my head that there was loads of elevation in Aira Force, and it's tiny. And just bear in mind, if you're doing this for time, there will be a lot of people in Aira Force. It's always busy, and obviously people are just there looking around the waterfalls, so you might get stuck behind people and stuff. And we were just like zigzagging around everyone. Got a few videos, as you would have seen. We didn't wait around or anything, we just cracked on up to Gowbarrow. You literally just come out of Aira Force and the path straight up to Gowbarrow's here. But as I said, there's the other way of doing it. So you go up to Aira Force, the first waterfall, and you come off and you avoid Gowbarrow, but actually meet up with the path later on if you want to do that route. But if you want to summit Gowbarrow, you've got, it's what, 482 metres. This was actually something I didn't know. Gowbarrow Fell summit and Gowbarrow Fell. Yeah, not sure. Topo's different, so summited that anyway and come off. And to come off Gowbarrow Fell, the area's nasty, man. It's just very muddy. There was a lot of people coming off who were in like trainers and stuff who'd probably come up from Aira Force. And I was trying to pass a few people and I jumped off some rocks and both my knees went. What I'd suggest, you're going to do the longer route, just take a walking pole and strap it to your bag, because it's worth having. Because my knees, mate, at the end was shot. I had knee pain for a couple of days after this. You know, I'm quite fit, but it doesn't stop your knees from getting hurt. You know, I can walk all day, but you've got to be careful sometimes. But anyway, yeah, and you end up walking through a forest after Gowbarrow once you meet up with the shorter route. And this section's okay, hit and miss. You've got boggy parts and good parts of the path, but it's fine, to be honest. And basically just heading back towards your car then. You've got a good 5-6 miles back to your car from Gowbarrow. And we can see here, which I didn't even realise, they've cut a slight bit of the Ullswater Way out there, going across them fields. They're basically going up the road on the official route, but doesn't really matter. Everyone who was doing the charity walk was going across this field, so we just followed on. But that's where my route had actually sent me. I don't think you're missing nothing going down the road. And then just basically back to the car. You would have seen on this section here, the very end of the walk, there was a farmer's field that it looked okay, but in the UK we've had bad weather for the last few weeks, rain. It hasn't stopped raining for months, to be honest. There was just a film of water on the surface and the mud, mate. I went straight down. It's hard to avoid it. You can see there where the path straight, I went round trying to avoid the water and the bogs, and I just got in worse, and it was all up my legs. My walking shoes, when I got back to the car, I just wrote off, so they needed good cleaning. But that section, literally probably the last 10 minutes, is just boggy, mate. So just bear that in mind. And as I say, the route joins on and you can carry on back into Pooley Bridge if you've parked there. But we literally just parked there by the boathouse. And that is the route pretty much. And I'll show you a quick look at our stats at the end of the route. So the total distance ended up being 22.6 miles. And you can see the elevation profile here. That is going up to Aira Pike. And it's flat for a lot of it, then up to Gowbarrow. We started at 7:08 and finished at 4:11, 9 hours and 1 minute. And we time spent moving 8 hours and 24. We don't take a lot of breaks nowadays. And after the way I felt the next day, I probably wish I took breaks, because my legs were killing. Both my knees were killing the next day, and my Achilles heel didn't feel good. I actually done the walk on Sunday, and today is Thursday, and I've still got pains in my heel. Probably just an overuse injury. It happens to everyone, so just bear that in mind. Maybe take a hiking pole. But anyway, another challenge / route I've always wanted to do. It's been on the list for a good few years, and I'm glad I finally got round to do it. If you're thinking about doing it, just get into it, mate, because it's quality. One of the best walks in the Lake District. As always, people, anything relevant will be linked in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.